Ben, please could you give the name of your second nomination?
I am once again going to choose Shabby, and that is because, for all of her special qualities, I do still consider her to be a divisive figure. Her presence makes it difficult for Kiva and Iffy to prosper as individual characters. They are still under her radar, under her control.
My first nomination is going to be for Dave. I'm getting sick of his voicing of his opinions, like as if he's trying to promote religion to us in here. Also, I think he's a bit of a lick arse, and I don't like lick arses. I think it's false, and I think he's just trying to save us back from being nominated. My second nomination is going to be for Sunshine. I think she is an attention seeker and thinks everything should revolve around her and is mean.
The first one that I'm going to pick is John James, because I feel like he should control his temper a bit more. Just sometimes, like, a little thing can annoy him, and you don't know if he might just switch, like, you know, oh, I'm getting angry, I'm going to get annoyed, you better be quiet or I'll get annoyed. That's it, like.
Please could you give the name of your second nomination?
Mario. It just annoys me, like, everything he talks about seems to be about, like, sex, bums, balls, nipples. Sick of hearing about it, like, really. Like, oh, Corin, I might get my balls out if Steve has a birthday party. Don't want to see them. It's not funny, like, oh, the thought of, like, just, like, pubic hair blowing about the place is knocking me sick, like, when he just says, like, he might strip.
My first nomination this week is Shabby. I find at times her sort of mood swings are quite difficult to deal with. The atmosphere changes quite radically when she's around, so you can all be in a room having a good time, having fun, and sometimes she'll come bursting through and no explanation given at all, just swearing, and you know, it's just sometimes a little bit difficult to cope with because you're not sure who's upset her, what the reason is for her apparent loss of temper. And my second nomination this week is Kiva. She's another one that can, you know, just flip at the turn of a switch, and I think she's one that would freely gossip about people, and she wouldn't really care either who's around to hear it.
The first one I would like to say would be Dave. I heard that Dave said to somebody, yeah, we're just knocking them off one by one, or something like that. I just don't trust him.
Iffy, please could you give the name of your second nomination?
I'm voting for Sunshine today because of the incident with the potato crisps. I felt like about this big when I went and asked her if we could open the packet, and she said, wait, when my nails are done, I'll do it. I just thought that was a bit insensitive. So, yeah, that annoyed me.
This wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be. Alright, for my first nomination, I'm going to nominate Ben. Sunshine was in his group, and it came out a couple of days ago that he had nominated Sunshine, and I lost a lot of respect for him in that way, and more importantly than that, I lost a lot of trust in him. It's very hard to spend time with someone that I can't fully trust.
John James, please could you give the name of your second nomination?
I'm going to have to nominate Dave. He's just saying some unsettling things, and when Jovan was evicted, he made numerous comments to the fact that the public were on his side and stuff like that, and that doesn't bother me. If the public are on his side, that's fine. I feel as though if he's worried about the public, then he's not being himself in here. We're not in here to be liked. We're not in here to be hated. We're in here to be ourselves. But if you're worried about something else, and you're trying to be friends with everybody and telling everybody that you love them, when really you might not, it's just not being true to yourself.
First of all, I'm going to nominate Dave because Shabs overheard a conversation that he was having in the bathroom saying, the Lord is looking after us, Jovan's gone, and we're taking him out one by one, or something along those lines. And Shabby got really, really funny about it, and I don't like things like that. And another thing as well, it keeps going on to Nathan. All right, Nathan, when are you cooking the dinner? When are you cooking the dinner? When are you cooking the dinner? Like, if you're hungry, go and get yourself some dinner. It's not up to Nathan to cook you dinner. Second nomination, that would have to be Sunshine, because the other day, Sunshine knew that she had a packet of crisps in her top drawer in her bedroom, and she wouldn't think to get them. Now, if that was me, I'd have those crisps out in a bowl, sharing them with the rest of my housemates, because that's what it's all about, working as a team in here. And yeah, she didn't get them. It took everybody to moan and moan all day for her to share her crisps, and I don't like that. So for the sheer fact that Sunshine's tighter than a duck's ass, she's got my vote.
My first nomination is going to be Corin. I just don't receive any kind of intellectual stimulation from her, and I've never been able to just sit down with her and say, you know, tell me about this, tell me about that. At the banquet of intellectual nourishment, I'm left starving. My second nomination is going to be Shabby. She's so mercurial with her temper. You know, one minute we can all be having a really laugh, a good time, and she'll just jump up and storm out of a room. She leaves a ripple of everyone being left slightly uncomfortable. Sometimes her rages are actually quite amusing, but you just never know how she's going to react to anything.
Please could you give the name of your first nomination?
Yeah, Sunshine. She just irritates the shit out of me with the constant pausing and that. And I've had little brief moments with her. She's been absolutely sound. It's like she's always acting up for cameras. And it just does my head in big time. So, first of all, Sunshine. Secondly, we're going to go Dave. I mean, I don't know what got said about, in what context it got said about the same-sex marriages. That really annoyed me. I think that's such a dated view about the whole thing. I think they need to move with the times a little bit, so that pissed me right off. And again, just little things, he just irritates me. The constant, when's the food, what time's the food, when's this, when's that, what's that. It fucking just doesn't head in. I just need a break from him, you know what I mean?
My first nomination is for Sunshine, because she's really just greedy and selfish and a bit tight-fisted. If I was given a massive bag of crisps, even if it did say my name on the front, I'd have opened that bag and shared it with everybody, and she didn't, and I just think that's a really stinking attitude to have in a house like this. Come on, some crisps? We were living on chickpeas, man. My second nomination is for Dave. I'm not religious at all, but I find his religion, or his take, he's basically created his own religion, and in this religion, this God does nothing but get him drunk and, you know, help him out in reality shows. And I actually, if I was a Christian, I would be massively offended by that. And it still peeves me that he said gay marriage is immoral.
I'm picking Kiva for the fact that she constantly rule breaks, and when it comes to tasks, I believe not put as much effort in as she could. Sort of things that Kiva's took part in, sort of gave up before she really needed to. I think if you get a task, you've got to put every effort in. I'm going to go with Shabby. It's because of a lack of cleanliness in the kitchen. She always leaves it for everybody else. She's quite willing to sit there and eat and then just wander off. And also the tantrums she has where she's storming around the house with really no need.
I'd like to nominate Kiva because just calling me things like, oh, you're tight and everything. If somebody says something to me in the same way that she does and I know them well and we have a friendship, then it can be considered a joke. But when she does it, it gets to me because she's being quite serious in it and I don't think it's very funny and it hurts. My second nomination is for Shabby because when there was a bag of crisps that we were given on the same night as pizza, she just made me feel like I was the worst person in the world. She judged me, and I just don't think it's nice to put words almost in somebody's mouth and then to not allow them the chance to explain and to not listen to their explanations, to actually believe I'm that person and to not give me a chance to explain.